That'll do.
Huh? Got a phone, you stupid. I gotta put my phone on mute, otherwise you're gonna hear Tai scream Osamatsu's band every time somebody texts me.
Tai screaming, no, you think?
Alright, that's one person. Two people.
Okie doke. Meme.
Welcome to the show. We're just waiting for everybody to get here. Mr. Akriloth, sir.
Aye.
Mr. Akriloth. Midnight Chimes? Is that me? Midnight Chimes?
It is indeed. Oh, I thought he was going to come on
like...
camera for a minute. Oh, no. Well, fuck you too, pal. I'm leaving that in. Oh, there he is.
Midnight Chime. I've seen, like, one video.
Yeah, I showed him your video on Brawny Midnight. It was very good.
It smacked Brawny.
All right.
That's all I needed.
Yeah, I don't think Owen's coming, so fuck it. I guess we'll just start off. Jeez, I forgot how to do my intro.
That
was really sad.
More like Lowen.
Indeed.
We just need a good quick, this is a Berserk podcast lost episode or whatever.
Sure.
Akriloth, no!
This is FNGR welcoming you to Limbo Podcast, joined by the following co-hosts, Midnight Chimes.
I'm here because I'm British.
Damn right he is. Rion Rhino MIlls, speaking of which, Ryan, I'm going to need your Gentleman Ryan picture with the monocle. You got it?
Also, Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino is a bad album.
Yeah. And this week's King of Limbo, Akriloth 2160. Not to be confused with
the number wrong.
I was going to say not to be confused with the other 2159.
The forbidden year that we do not speak of.
Yeah.
2016, more like 2006 spleen. Cut that.
2006 shit.
Now, I have a bunch of series of questions here. Would you like something serious or more fun-loving?
Whichever one you prefer.
Okay. Let's just go right here towards the top here. Since you joined BOP, aka a bunch of pseudo-intellectuals, what do you feel has improved the most? And if anything, what needs to still improve?
Well, I like on BOP in general.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Since joining BOP, I'd say since then, I'd say the idea of emphasizing the entertainment over the convoluted information has gotten significantly better since the first time I appeared on there. But then again, that probably might not be the best perspective of mine, seeing as the first time I did appear on the channel was they just called me up and asked, hey, do you want to do a line for us that appears right at the end of the skit? And it was just me recording this line, going being like, hey, what are you doing in my room? And stuff like that. I feel that kind of involvement has gotten a bit better since the two videos I've done on them. And
yeah. That was one of my favorite. Like, I think just in general, I feel like the writing of the skits have gotten better. I say this as the person who partially wrote the skit for the BOP commentary I was in that I regret doing. Oh, that one?
Yeah, the BOP commentary on Meta is my go-to example for why I don't like doing videos out of obligation. Because that and also the C-Team video I did with Unsealed Cross. That's over on them. I don't like.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I don't like looking back on those. I like doing a video when it's actually I feel like I actually have something fun about it.
Like the Chambers one? Like
the Chambers one, yeah. It's got a whole ton of information, but I feel like a better mixture of the humor aspect. Like it doesn't feel like the first time I watched someone like TP, I was just overwhelmed with information. This one I feel was a bit more, for the runtime, pretty accessible still nonetheless.
I think one of the biggest things I've noticed has improved in the group is the actual involvement of everyone involved in the product, because up until I'll say maybe the Mr. Enter... the Guildmaster commentary, the 10th one. Most BOP comms didn't have a lot of involvement from all the people that were in the projects. Like, the first few commentaries, I just wrote the entire thing myself, because nobody else would fucking write.
But,
we were just like, how do we do this group project thing? Cooperate?
That's such a foreign concept, I feel.
But currently, is there anything that you feel that still needs to be improved?
Still needs to be improved, yeah. That's a very good question. As of the one that's on my mind right now is I feel there's been something of a stagnation of stuff that we actually put up on the BOP channel in terms of the actual commentary material. I'm aware that they're not just a commentary channel, but it's the content that people very much come for. It's their honest trailers, if you will. And I feel like more often than not we've wound up in a situation where it doesn't end up on BOP. It's the same situation as with the Voice of Reason commentary. It's just not on BOP when I feel like it very much could have been given the sort of crossover aspect of it. Like I've got, I at the moment, I still don't know if I'm ever going to get this off the ground, but there's the commentary that I'm doing with, that I have in the script process with Rion and Gwis. And I feel if that ever gets off the ground, which I do hope it does, because I love the skit I wrote for it, then I feel there's no reason why that can't be up on Bob. So, you know.
Yeah, you need me and Gwis I'm no schedule at all, because I just sit around in my camper all day and die, so.
Do you have any favorites in the group, members?
Favorites, right. I've grown really attached to Ty, obviously.
Oh my god, same.
Who doesn't love Ty? I'd say he's the most well executed idea of large ham in a commentator that I've seen in ages.
Yeah, I think the only other person I've seen do ham that great is Redden in certain Bob commentaries. I don't know why Redden ham is great.
Yeah, I'd say Ty does it slightly better, if only because his audio setup pulls it off a lot better. It doesn't feel like audio spiky all over the place. Sorry, Redden, not to discredit Redden. In fact, I actually have written for my upcoming co-op commentary a part where he's yelling, but yeah, honestly, Ty does it. Ty is by far the best in that regard.
Oh yeah.
Conversely, who needs to step up their game?
He's a step up their game. I know that Rion would probably go for someone like MacBoy, and honestly, I'd probably honestly, I think he's certainly got room for improvement. Like he was in the aforementioned video that I cameoed in on the end, and I do think to be fair to him, I will say, since the video that I did on him, and since the video that TOG did on him, I'd say that he's gotten a lot better since then. There is still room, though. I'd say there is still room.
I do have to say, here's an interesting question. Opinion on Derterifii's most recent content in the past year.
Oh, which one's that?
Like, just most of the commentaries he's put up in the past year, because I've personally been looking through them. I've noticed a weird slope down in the quality.
The only one I can think of off the top of my head is the video he did on Doodle Tones, but that's going back a bit.
That video, yeah, I saw that video. And it was okay, I guess. That's what I've noticed a lot with Derterifii lately. It's been either okay or you just wanted to get a video out, didn't you? Maybe.
I think that might just be. I think that for me that might just be the videos in between. Like I'm looking at his video list right now, and the Doodle Tones one is right on the top line at the end of it. And since then he's done like a bunch of other videos, only a few of which are technically commentaries. So I don't know. Maybe it's just not doing as much in general kind of thing. So
that's probably what it is.
I at least want to leave some leeway for that.
Oh yeah, no, he's also been dealing with IRL stuff, so I'm not.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not like kill yourself, Derpy, you loser. But no, here's an interesting topic. I saw that you had left something on Superfunnybros' video on Libertarian Socialist France, which leads me to question, what did you think of Skihound and Redden's video on that said commentary?
I haven't watched it all the way through yet. I need to. I did see the shorter one that Doodles did, but I haven't seen the one with Skihound yet. I've got to put that in my watch later.
Yeah, it does raise a lot of really good points, personally.
Absolutely. It's basically the considering that I was actually pretty okay with the Superfunnybros video when I first saw it. I think that kind of changing perspective really outlines why I'm not so comfortable around that kind of topic. It's just, even when it feels like you're getting something right, maybe that's just confirmation bias talking, and that's not a healthy mindset to be in, even when you don't, regardless of whether you notice it or not.
What's something in the CC or BOP do you feel, in your opinion, could have been handled better?
It could have been handled better.
See, if you want my personal opinion and tell me what you think on this one, is the name Mr. Medica ring a bell?
I wasn't going to go there.
Honestly, I was actually ready for that to be brought up, because I'm going to say this up front right now. The tweet that he quoted, I fully 100% regret ever putting that out, because it was immature on my part, and I fully regret doing that. I mean, it doesn't excuse the crap that Medica did, but at the same time, it was a dick move on my part. Of course, Medica's not actual cancer. No, of course, nobody deserves that.
Yeah, I have to say,
it was a massive overreaction on my part, and if anyone out there wishes to say that it was stupid of me to ever tweet that, good on you, because I agree it was a stupid tweet as well.
Oh yeah. See, Akriloth, I have to say, you probably got, like, the better end of that stick, though, because you don't really come into the Bop chats that often. I do. Or the Bop-related chats that often, and how I did end up bringing it up with a lot of people, but how a lot of the conversations would go is Medicare an idiot? Let's look over the evidence. Okay, yeah, Medicare's an idiot. Whew, glad we got that established. But this brings up a new question. Is Medicare an idiot? Let's look over the evidence again. Okay. I can confirm the Medicare is a duck. Oh, wait, hold up. Forgot to carry the two. Yeah, no, he's an idiot.
Well, dude, you know, as you're the one who said that ducks suck, so, you know, there's some crossover in that regard.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Okay. Now this is what I find interesting. I guess I could probably spin this question I usually give. Who's rather popular in the CC right now that you don't really understand why? Or alternatively, who's someone who was popular in the CC back then that you never understood why?
Stephen the Master, as far as the past is concerned.
Oh, that was a new name.
I never got that guy. Everyone was going on about. I do believe it was Zim Anonymous who said that he was very much an all-style, no-substance commentator. Basically, the kind of thing that Smugleaf carries on once fooled himself into thinking that I was, with little to no reason whatsoever, a long while back. But my biggest memory of Stephen the Master is how he did a one-shot on. You remember Cam Woodstock, that kid who had a really obnoxiously screechy voice?
Very vaguely.
Yeah, he was a long while back. It was Stephen the Master did a what he called was a one shot on him. I remember doing a while back a commentary where I basically outlined why the whole business of distinguishing a one shot from just a really short commentary is, you know, not as vague as people try to put it out as. But Stephen the Master was one of the worst cases of not understanding what a one shot commentary was, because there was more than one cutaway in it. It was just him I don't even remember what he actually said. It was that tedious, but literally the only thing I remember about it is him getting something egregiously wrong. And when that's the biggest thing that I remember about you, then yeah, I don't really get why there were like hundreds of, at the very least, hundreds and hundreds of subscribers that he got. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like what I remember when Stephen the Master came back temporarily, and he went under the name fucking Trevor, which is amazing. And I remember I did a one shot on him and basically said the exact same thing. It seemed like he was more focused on making his character seem like Trevor from GTA 5 with all the yelling and swearing out of nowhere. He seemed more like he was trying to do that style thing, but not actually have a point.
No, nobody can top the glory that is Stephen Ogg. I'm sorry, that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. Now, what was it? Doodle has made this public knowledge that Bop is actually going to cover a video by Manga Kamen, who did a co-op with Gale. What is your opinion on Manga Kamen?
I think he could be. He is potentially a compellingly decent commentator. I remember stumbling upon one of his videos on one of the TV trope sub pages for Game Theory, and I thought he did a pretty interesting insight as to why the whole Sans' Nest thing was pretty stupid to begin with. Like long before certain hacks decided to milk it for all it's worth. Game Theory rejects. sorry about that. But I think for all he's certainly not perfect. I think he obviously does have he obviously seems to have his dumb moments, but I at least feel somewhat compelled to at least want to watch him. I feel like he's a decent fellow. I think he's, you know, I think he could very well do with some positivity around here. I think he's not too shabby.
Yeah.
I'd describe his work as distinctive. Would you agree?
Maybe.
Okay, Anthony, you haven't asked the question, so I'll shoot one.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Hopefully you don't say no to this, because it's going to shoot down like the back end of my questions here. On September 26, 2016, you held a Q&A video. I've since then boosted a bunch of those questions for this.
All right, yeah.
Well, so the good news here is if you answer these, you don't have to do your answer.
Aha!
Indeed.
Right.
Don Roxas asks, who's the biggest scumbag you've met on YouTube?
Yeah, the thing with the Q&A video is that I'm trying my very best to script that out as much as possible, because I don't usually like having it end up like this, where I'm just stumbling over my own words and improvising all the answers.
All right, well, you know what? Then I have a bunch of... I wrote down a couple of bastardized questions based off of that. Someone asked who...
okay.
Yeah, someone asked... What's your, if Pokemon were real, which one would you least like to own then? Which one do you think would be the biggest pain in the ass?
You know, first thing that came to my mind was Lopunny, because then people would start just blindly assuming that I want to fuck it.
Okay.
Even if it was a male, because even if it's a male, in the words of Ty, low bodies have a 50% chance of having yucks.
Would they be wrong?
I have a more fucked up one than that. What?
Oh no!
If you could choose, if you had to, if you looked at all the Pokemon, which one would you eat?
Yeah. I want to say. The obvious one is Bone Sweet, but I don't want to. Oh, however the fuck you pronounce it. That's actually a better question than I thought it would be.
What about Magikarp?
I actually no. I want to say Lurantis. I like to imagine that Lurantis's claw thingies taste like rock candy or whatever. I don't know what Americans call it. It's that sort of hard cylindrical candy that you get at places like Blackpool or whatever. British viewers will know exactly what I'm talking about. I have no idea what more Western viewers are going to say, but that's what I'd imagine it tastes like. Candy canes. That's a much better comparison. It just sprung to my mind. It was just knocking around in there. I like to imagine that Lurantis's claws taste like candy canes because they look an awful lot like candy canes. I'd imagine they taste an awful lot like candy canes.
Nice. These are only going to get... Since you won't let me ask the real ones, these are only going to get way more offensive a lot quicker. MDXLR asks, boxers or briefs? She really didn't. I was just making that up.
You had me for a second there. You had me.
Yeah, no. I looked like, what if I could hack MD's account and ask something that would make someone feel uncomfortable? That's what I'm gonna ask.
Who said I was uncomfortable? I was just stuck for an answer.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the coup de grace after that. Go on. It's not that hard. You just flip a coin if you're that worried about it.
So, what is it? What kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, ouch! That's a question and a half if I ever saw one. The thing with people asking that question is that really depends on what mood I'm in at the time. The fact that the bookshelf right next to me is now beyond full capacity when it comes to music CDs ought to have been a hint at that. Though, as of this moment right now, I'm listening to an awful lot of Fleetwood Mac. I've constantly had Landslide playing in my head, and it certainly helps that I can actually sing it in roughly its original pitch. So that might be a factor. But yeah, I'm listening to a lot of Fleetwood Mac. I've been exploring the latest album by Empire of the Sun, which is absolutely gorgeous. Helps that it has one of the members of Fleetwood Mac on one of the tracks. And I also got hold of a box set containing the first 10 albums from ZZ Top. That's quite a lot of fun. Even the album which everyone blames for the death of them, Afterburner, that album's kind of fun, aside from some filler at the start with Sleeping Bag. I mean, Sleeping Bag's not as good as I remember it, but every other track, it's surprisingly quite fun. Even the ultra cheesy track that everyone only knows because of that Stephen King novel, Velcro Fly, even that's actually quite fun in its own way. I honestly think. Maybe I'm just biased towards 80s cheese. I mean, I'm the guy who enjoyed Judas Priest's Turbo album, for fuck's sake. But I think any particular given era of ZZ Top that's not the 30 album, I think is still pretty good.
You were just mentioning 80s cheese. Are you a fan of B movies or anything like that?
B movies, yeah. I've watched a good couple of older B movies. I think
You're a trauma fan?
I haven't. I'm aware that a lot of their movies are up on their YouTube channel for free, but I haven't got around to watching any of them yet. I do have the Toxic Avenger on DVD, and I have seen that. I also have the first 3 Puppet Master movies. Those are actually also really. The first one's actually pretty good fun. I've yet to see the other 2, but I find them a compelling watch. And Charles Band, the director, is a pretty awesome guy. I follow him on Twitter. That's for other B movies, though. I'm looking over at my shelf right now and scanning my eyes across the tiny text at a distance from my computer chair, trying to spot something that I've actually seen. And it's surprisingly not all that. Not all that easy to spot. For some stupid reason, I very nearly said Kill la Kill.
Kill la Kill is the best B movie.
Well, they did cut some. Studio Trigger did cut corners, as Scarlett said. So I do have another Charles Band movie called Robot Wars, not to be confused with the British TV show. It's another Charles Band production. I have that, but I haven't seen it yet.
Robot Wars, isn't that the one with the mechs?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, if that's the one I think it is, that's actually a pretty good... For being an old movie, you'll be amused by that, I think.
I know that it's been featured on Cinemassacre, so that makes that narrows it down a bit
Maybe
more.
I'm thinking of Robot Jacks. Go ahead.
It might be, yeah. That's also on Cinematica. There's I know that they're two very different movies. I think there should be one near the end. I also nearly said 20th Century Boys, but that's far removed from a B movie. Like, record-breakingly far removed from a B movie.
When more than Kill a Kill?
Yeah. It even, if I recall correctly, it even says on the front of the box set the 20th Century Boys is famous for being one of the biggest budget Japanese productions ever. So.
Oh.
I do have another one here. Ryan might get a kick out of this. Another bastardized question that wasn't really asked. YouTube Doob asks, what's your thoughts on cropped Hatsui Miku porn?
Cropped? Why would it ever be cropped?
I don't know, Ryan. Why would it be cropped?
Why would you do that?
Because funny meme.
I want to see everything. I want to see the world, if you know what I mean. I want to see everything. Why would you ever crop that?
Those aren't porn. It's just certain cropped pictures of Hatsune Miku eating ice cream.
Indeed.
It's not porn. It's not porn if it doesn't have vajayjays or tits in it.
Indeed.
Now here's a question.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about my rap music?
Jesus.
My precious hip hop.
I feel dead inside. Insert Evanescence reference here. Everyone's gonna do it. It's my
Evanescence is the best rapper.
And even that's what's always bothered me about that Evanescence song. It's the backing vocals on the chorus always felt a bit too nu metal, a bit too rap. It's that song was just made to be memed. I feel because of that.
Made to be memed sounds like a comedy album name.
Yeah. For the record, as far as female fronted metal bands go, Battle Beast is way better. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like for real, Battle Beast's lead vocalist is the kind that has the kind of metal scream where whenever she goes really, really high pitched, it sounds exactly like King Diamond, and it's really mind blowing. Do a search for a song called "Let It Roar" and listen to her vocals, and during the chorus, you will find it hard to believe that it's not King Diamond singing, but it's still her. It's amazing. The whole self-titled album just seriously slays. It's way better than ever.
I was reminded of Nightwish. Funny enough.
When you mentioned King,
I can see the connection.
You said King Diamond, isn't that Merciful Fate?
He has that sort of the chorus, the vocal style on Let It Roar is a sort of goofy, high-pitched, raspy shriek, very much like sort of King Diamond, sort of Mr. Lordy, that kind of vocal style, but it's still the same soothing female vocal that it builds up from right from the start, very similar to Nightwish. And that kind of range is what I love about it. we somehow got from Ryan's rap career towards gushing over for bloody Battle Beasts, for crying out loud. How I'm just that much of a music nerd.
Well, what do you think about hip hop in general? Like any specific artists?
It depends on what I'm listening to. I think it's a bit. I found it a bit depressing that the majority of the rap albums that I physically own are from white rappers. Although they are from. I will say for the record, they are from good white rappers, though. I've got a whole load of Eminem. I've got both of Macklemore's albums. I think that's about it for them, actually, now that I think about it. But I do have a bunch of others, though. That's not to say there aren't any proper well-known rappers. I have Sect Packets by Digital Underground on vinyl. I think I really need to listen to more of that besides the Humpty Dance. I've been listening to Phrenology by The Roots, and The Roots, I think, are a very interesting band. I as part of my university degree, I read up on an article with the Roots' drummer Questlove that was discussing how they recreate the idea of sampling through just having specific instrumentation. I think that's very, very interesting.
You mentioned something about university there. What's your field of study?
Oh, I was studying music. I was studying a modular music degree.
Oh, damn it! I should
have for 3 years. It was the kind of thing where one moment you could be studying up on how to properly do a chorale setting, and then the next moment you're looking at lyrics from an Iron Maiden album. It's amazing.
Let's see. What albums from this year have interested you, or have you listened to and were bad?
Oh my, sorry.
What were some bad albums that came out this year?
Bad albums, okay. I'm trying to avoid regurgitating secondhand information from the Rock Critic because I'm like the most creepy, obsessive fan of the Rock Critic ever. But I'm not even kidding. That's my self-professed title. I'm Crash Thompson's certified stalker, so to speak.
You've given me a new question to ask people in the future.
Yeah.
If you were a creepy fan of one person's, who would it be? Let me write that down.
Good point. But I haven't heard good. I guffawed when I heard that Train did a covers album of Led Zeppelin, and I just have not good thoughts about that.
Just the concept on its own. Ugh.
Why would they ever want to do that? I can't imagine Pat Monahan's voice coming over well. As someone who's been catching up with a good chunk of Led Zeppelin 4, I just can't imagine Pat Monahan's vocals doing a decent Black Dog cover, let alone even a competent Black Dog cover, let alone a listenable one.
God.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind. But as far as albums, actual bad albums that I've gone out of my way to listen to, nothing much really comes to mind. Really, I tend to whenever I come across something it's bad. The worst that I come across by myself is more forgettable. There's the sort of thing where I just sort of stumble upon it, then it just sort of passes out of my mind, and I move on to something else. And I stumble upon something really good, and it just sort of, oh my word, it fills up my mind, and then I just instantly go out and get that album. So it's like gets overtaken by all the good stuff instantly.
Well, that's why being in the hip hop scene this year has been kind of weird, because I've been running into too many not really bad albums, but very disappointing albums. And bad albums.
You kind of gave me an interesting question here. Seem to have a great fixation on music.
Yeah.
If you were to travel, would you base it on basically the nations that you'd probably felt had the most influence in your taste around music, or?
Well, probably. I say probably because that will mean that would require me to go to Birmingham, and I don't like Birmingham. I have not necessarily entirely bad memories of Birmingham, but it's overall not a very pleasant city from what I remember.
That's beautiful. British Ninja's a Brummie. Oh, I tried to get him in here.
Yeah, for all I've only ever been to there for the occasional music exam and every now and then a music youth festival, which the band I was in won once, for the record. They've had fabulous memories of those, but everything else about the city just feels just crammed together. For all the amazing artists that city has gave us, I wouldn't want to ever go there for any other reason. Honestly, as far as satiating my Black Sabbath love with a pilgrimage of some sort, I'd honestly sooner travel to that watermill that's on the front cover of their first album in somewhere near Oxford, I think. Yeah, I'd certainly love to go to there, and just to find the exact spot where the model on the cover was standing. It would be amazing, because it would be my answer to Abbey Road. Like, Abbey Road's way too obvious a choice for me. That's more Youngblood's territory than mine.
If you could think of one place, I don't know, musically dead in the world, what would you say it is? It is,
musically dead. I don't want to say.
Oh, there is some place in your head right off the tip of your tongue, is there?
Well, no, it's not even that. On one hand, anything I say can potentially piss someone off, but
is it going to? That's what I want to hear.
Exactly, but then again, on the other hand, that implies that I even have anywhere in the first place. I would probably, the very first thing that came to my mind is British rap music, but even then, I feel like that's more because I just don't see the appeal of a lot of artists. I'm not to say that they're bad. It's just that there have been the only kinds that I've really found myself coming back to more often are the kind which just sort of spoof the format. Like, say, I guess Dan Bull technically he just sort of does sort of comedic but also nerdcore subversive kinds of activist rapping or something like that. But he's not what one would typically think of when it comes to the rap scene, especially not in the UK, when we have stuff like grime and stuff like that. I still don't get that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it definitely is more that I just don't really. It's just not for me. So sorry to all other British rappers out there, especially the one whose name I will not disclose because personal life, who I happen to know in what the US would call high school. But it's not for me.
Oh, what did you think of punk?
You up.
He knows me.
What do you think of punk music?
I've been getting more and more into that. Again, going back to Senpai Trash Thompson, I got hold of one of the albums that he reviewed, the Hypercaphium Spasinated by the Descendants, and I'm genuinely really enjoying it. It's really got nice bite-sized songs with blunt lyrical content, which are also perfectly capable of being really clever on top of that. I think it's a fun listen. And a much earlier memory of me really enjoying punk was when during my degree, they brought up Nevermind the Bollocks, Here's the Sex Pistols, and I was genuinely impressed with how well the sound of that album's aged. It's very clear, it's very crisp, it's very to the point, you can tell what the lyrics are saying. It's not sludgy, it's boisterous, but it's clear. I really like that. I feel like punk's a scene I could possibly listen to a lot more of. I feel like Descendants is a great gateway for me. I like it.
Anthony, you got something else?
I don't know. Should I ask any more screwball questions? I feel like I'm annoying Ryan every time I ask one of these. Okay. All right. This is not legit. This is me being a jerk off. Serious Gamer asks, with the increasing climate change due to the degradation of the provincial government of South Taiwan, do you think it's a good idea to prevent to invest in a $250 Nintendo Switch.
Nah, I think we should probably just murder more cows because they keep farting everywhere.
That's a good idea. I wanted to
Speaking
make
of
that as
Switch,
retarded as possible.
We need a surplus of cheeseburgers. I'm fully aware that the States is very much the land of bald eagles, fireworks, and cheeseburgers. We need to stockpile all of the cheeseburgers in the world and drive the cow to extinction, so they stop breaking wind everywhere and blowing up the ozone layer or something, some shit like that.
Indeed.
What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know. I had a feeling. I was like, I sure hope he doesn't ask me not to ask these questions, because I'm stuck.
You know, I'm gonna ask a question that I already know the answer to. Like, I'm gonna pretend like I don't. What do you think? Like, what do you think caused downfall of a Mr. M. Scullo 1?
You know, that's not as clear a question as I thought it would be. Like, I saw, I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying I didn't see it start to happen. But I honestly have no idea. If anything did happen, it wasn't public. I will say that.
Yeah, as someone who's been in the CC for 3 years, I've noticed that a lot of things happen in private. In fact, I'm gonna say a lot of this year has had a lot of that happen. You've missed a lot in the chats.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That and it's that and laziness that means I don't go on Skype as often as I probably should.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like I'm sad you don't and glad that you don't at the same time.
Well,
oh my God! Shut up, phone.
I'll put it to.
I thought I muted you.
I was gonna say I'll put it to this way, Akriloth. I have a giant mouth, and I don't repeat half the crap that Ryan tells me.
Yeah,
That's insane, actually,
like,
when you think about it.
if you wanted my answer on what I think is increasingly starting to become an issue in the CC again, it's infighting. It's
Maybe.
stupid. But back to funny memes. What is your favorite funny meme?
I'm gay.
Indeed.
I'm gay. You got me.
All right, if we're doing memes, what is love?
It's is it a conversation? Is it a hearty breakfast? My favorite band. Is it a 4-letter word that you could use in various ways that are mostly positive? Hell yeah.
That was pretty good. Hobbs, look out. We've got a new
If
singer.
anyone knows what that's a reference to, then high five.
Akriloth R&B album coming out this never.
Yeah.
I could try.
Eh?
I could try. I did say I can do a pretty decent Stevie Nicks, so you know.
Oh, wait, this is an old one I haven't busted out in a while since you said you went for education. How much is your college debt?
Oh, fuck off.
The reigning champion is at $100,000, so it's just...
I prefer not to think about it. Like,
Oh, that bad?
I've had a conversation with family about and been reassured that the payments for it are supposed to come out in a sort of smaller amount than I thought it would, sort of like a phone contract or something like that. And even after knowing that, I don't like thinking about it.
Okay, no, it's fine. I'm sorry.
That's nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
No,
It's
look,
one of those-
I'm a college... Yeah, I came out of college, too. I'm in debt, too, so I can appreciate it. It's about $20K on my side. It's probably closer, like, what, 17 pounds?
I haven't gone to college.
Well, you're ahead of the game here, Ryan. You can't suffer in the pain of the rest of the class.
Quite.
Yeah.
You don't get scrutinized just for being a student. That's a good thing. All the discounts for McDonald's or cinemas or whatever in the world don't make up for that.
And also, you don't get mocked by Mr. Enter on DeviantArt.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah, Mr. Enter a couple of years ago mocked somebody for going to college and made fun of their college debt.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Jesus,
See,
so-
what-
Because somebody brought up how he has no experience on animation and stuff like that, and then Mr. Enter starts being a cuck. Have fun with your college debt.
This is like a few months after my girlfriend has been honestly partially succeeding in somewhat reversing my opinion on Mr. Enter. And just as I started getting over the event that put him in the bad light in the CC, things
fair,
like that just sort of make me uncomfortable to be around him. He's like if Undertaker Freak had a script. It's that kind of discomfort.
I mean, to be fair, this was like 2 years ago, but
Still.
Yeah, dude.
Has he honestly indicated that he's changed his viewpoint on that? I don't know.
Well, he doesn't really engage people in conversation.
Also, I need to meet Miss Akriloth one day. LOL. Haha.
Yeah, maybe.
Ryan wants to be every girl's gay best friend.
Well, are you into trans people?
Sure.
Maybe, yeah, all right.
I mean, I hang with Doodle, like, every day. She is okay, you have to know one thing about Doodle. She is weird sometimes, because...
Oh, really? I would have never guessed.
We'll have a call open. No. Like, when I first met her, we had talked a lot in a Discord chat, and I remember me and Hunter had left, and I went to sleep. I woke up. I went and looked in the Discord chat. She had just been in call overnight, just sitting there, waiting for someone to come in.
Oh, sweet.
That's how she is in Skype calls. If she's the only one there and I'm AFK, she'll just sit there and wait for me to get back.
Oh man, that's pretty. The mental image that puts in my mind is just so adorable. I don't even mean it sarcastically either. Genuinely,
it makes me picture. You ever see Watamote?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about Watamote.
Yeah, the girl with the sunken eyes. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, Tomoko. Yeah.
Yeah, Tomoko. That's absolutely what I
know
think
exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Talks about that. Yeah. Oh, I love Doodle. I'm gonna timestamp that.
But yeah, I'm into the I am okay with the trans people, and yeah. I can be her gay best friend. Hi, let's go shopping for shows.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I can at least safely say that on my last date with my own girlfriend, I can at least safely quote the most famous song from Electric Six with all confidence. She did, in fact, spend all my money at the gay bar.
Does it particularly cost more than the regular one?
Which, for the record, yes, when I went to see Electric Six live a few days back, yes, they did perform that song. So that's the thing.
That is pretty great. That is pretty great. See, my goal on a date is to say, I don't care what context it is. I am currently listening to the 1999 Grammy Award-winning hit "Smooth" by Santana, featuring the singer of Matchbox 20. Off the platinum-selling album Supernatural, in that order. This needs to be a thing.
Well, did we come to our end? Yeah, no, I think that'll work. Oh, I hope you had a good time, Akriloth. Hopefully we can...
Oh, surprisingly good, considering how depressing the rest of the day was, I gotta say.
Oh, well then I can count you in to come back perhaps sometime if we get more...
Maybe, yeah, absolutely. If technology didn't fail me like it did earlier today, then hey, yeah, absolutely.
Woot, Ryan, There you go. You get to talk to your boy a little bit more next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Aki, you want me to pop open the Bob call?
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, the Bob Skype group. Yeah, all right.
I'd invite you over to our group, but you said you're never on Skype, right?
Well, not as much, no. I'm like a moron. I forget to convert the password over to my LastPass account, and then some dweeb starts spamming a link about Stephen Hawking everywhere, and I have to push, no, don't click that link. It's not me who posted it.
Yeah, I've learned if it's a link and I don't recognize it, and it doesn't sound like the person sending it to me, it's probably not them.
It's probably
I'll hit stop on this.